Hi guys, I'm back. Try this again. I've tried to make this video, I think 4 times already, and things just keep happening. But let's get to it. After my last run on my freeze dryer, I got the Premier Pump owners. It's time to change your oil. The run before that, or just as that run finished, when I opened the drain valve, I heard a gurgling, which means that my hose was actually in the water in my drain bucket, and it sucked up some water into my pump. So when I emptied that the oil, and this is it here, I got all this water. All these bumps here are water that were that's in my oil. So it says to change it. You can do a full-on change, or you can filter it. Most of us filter it. I like to put mine in the freezer. An hour or two is usually fine. It's probably been 4 days. Life happens. But like I said, as you can see, all these little bumps at the bottom here, that's all water that's now frozen to the glass. My Brita filter that I've made in the past was getting kind of nasty. So this is what I pulled out. I'm going to show you how I set up my Brita filter. I take an old Brita pitcher. We don't use the filters that come with the Brita. Do not use an actual Brita filter cartridge in here. What you do is you take some good toilet paper and... Alright, so actually instead of scissors, I'm going to use this knife. It's a straight edge knife, not serrated, because we want to cut... This whole thing will not fit in. It's a little big, but we want about half of it. But we want to cut the toilet paper and not add a whole lot of extra fluff. So ooh, take it a bit. So if that was we've got a little bit of fluff, but if that was a serrated knife, there'd be fluff everywhere. Then you get fluff in your oil, and that's just not good. So I want to take off and just roll it as tight as we can. Doesn't have to be exactly half. Let's see how this is going to fit. That was actually a good guess. We want this nice and snug. So nice and snug in there. It took some pressure to push it in, but not too much. And that's it. This is so much better than the old version of a filter that they used to give you. This weird contraption. You lost so much oil. Was no good. I believe the new filter they give you is similar to this. It looks just like a different style of Brita pitcher with a different cartridge in it. But I use this for a year. So quick and easy. And then all you do after you've taken your oil out of the freezer, just dump it in. Let it sit a bit. And there, as you can see, all that oil in there, all those bumps, that's the water that is not going back into my pump. So now it's stuck to the glass. I can let this warm up totally. And also there are a few little black specks in that. See if I can. So all those bumps is oil, and all those dark spots, that's inside. That's just debris from freeze drying that's caught in the water. So if you suspect that you have water in your pump, put it in the freezer. I label my jar, freeze dry your oil so that nobody takes it, and that's it. For the filtering, because I just added new toilet paper in there, it is going to take a little longer for the initial oil to soak through. But after you've done your first run of oil all the way through it, the toilet paper is then saturated, and it's easier for the oil to flow through while the gunk and stuff gets trapped. Let's see if we can. So I can see more so on the outside edges here, all that dark that was on the outside is like gunk that's been trapped in the oil. There's even some bits further inside if I look through. So we can tell that this is actually doing a decent job in filtering our oil, so we have nice clean oil to run back through our pump. So I'm going to set this aside. I usually have 2 batches of oil going, so I've already put oil back into the freeze dryer pump, and then this will sit aside and run through, do its thing, and wait until I get my notice to change my oil again. And that's how simple an oil change can be. But it's a vital, important part of the process of keeping up the health of your pump and your machine, your investment. If in doubt, change your oil. Changing it more, filtering more is going to do nothing but help the process and the longevity of your pump. If you're on a standard pump, please change your oil regularly. Same with the Premier. Don't ever try to go past that 20 mark. You'll just start gunking up your machine and get into trouble. But until then,